I never believed in ghosts or anything like that, but one night is all it took to change my whole belief. To me, nights, they were just quiet. Same routine every day school, home, phone, sleep. My room was on the second floor, facing the backyard, one big window, nothing special. Until that night, it was around 2:13 a.m. I remember because my phone died right after I checked the time. I woke up for no reason, no sound, no dream, just that feeling like something was watching me from a distance. I turned slightly towards the window and I saw him, a man standing outside, perfectly still, smiling. At first, I thought I was dreaming, as if it was some kind of hallucination. My eyes were half closed, my brain still foggy. I blinked hard, and he was still there. Tall, dark clothes, face barely visible, except for that smile. Too wide, too still. Not friendly, not normal, just fixed. Like he had been standing there for a long time, waiting. I pulled the blanket over my head. I couldn't breathe, and my heart, it was like it was about to break out from my chest. When I looked again, he hadn't moved. But now I noticed something much worse. He wasn't looking at my window. He was looking directly at me, staring deep inside my soul. The next morning, I couldn't believe how I slept. I told myself it was nothing, a trick of light, a dream, stress, just diverting my mind off what had happened just last night. That's what I believed. And then night came again, 2:10 a.m. I woke up again, same feeling, but this time I didn't want to look. Still, curiosity got the best of me, and I did. And he was there again, same spot, same smile. But something was different. He was closer, not by distance, but I could measure. I could feel it, like the space between us had shrunk. I closed the curtains immediately. My heart was beating too fast. I couldn't breathe. For a few minutes, everything was silent. Then, a tap, a soft sound on the glass. I froze. Another tap. Slow, deliberate. I didn't move. Then I heard something I will never forget, a faint voice. Not inside my room, not outside either, just everywhere. Why do you keep looking away? I didn't sleep that night. The next day I told my parents. They checked outside. They're really concerned, but they just said that it's probably nothing. And my father told me to just leave it behind. But that night I recorded the window with my phone just to prove I wasn't crazy. At 2:12 a.m. I watched the recording live. Empty backyard, nothing. I sighed in relief. Then I looked up from my phone and he was there, standing exactly where the camera showed, nothing, smiling. Now I knew something was wrong because the cameras lied, but my eyes didn't. The next nights got worse. Night after night, he appeared earlier each time. He got closer without moving. Sometimes I would see him in reflections, first before the window, in my mirror, in my phone screen, even in the black TV screen when it was off, and always that smile, never changing, never breaking, like it wasn't a face, like it was a message. On the seventh night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to look. I stayed in my bed, facing the wall, lights on, phone in hand, playing videos loudly just to block the silence. Minutes passed, nothing happened. Maybe it was over. Maybe it was my imagination all along. Then my phone died instantly, like something had pulled the power out of it. The room was silent, too silent. And then the light flickered once, twice, and then died. Total darkness. I could hear my breathing and everything else. A soft sound like breathing that wasn't mine. Right next to the window, I slowly turned my head and saw him. Not outside this time, inside, standing just a few steps from my bed, still smiling. But now I could see details. His face wasn't human. It looked stretched, like it had been pulled into that smile for too long. His eyes didn't blink, didn't even move. He was bleeding blood. He was crying blood, and then he spoke again, this time clearly. You finally looked. I tried to move, I couldn't. My body felt heavy, like the room itself was holding me down. He took one step closer, then another, and whispered, You keep pretending I'm outside. I was never outside. My breath stopped. I barely could have heard his voice. He tilted his head slightly. That smile never fading. I live in the moment you noticed me, and then everything went dark. No sound, no light, no room, just that smile. The next morning, my parents found my room normal. No damage, no sign of anything, just me sitting on the bed, eyes open, silent, staring at the window, smiling. They said I was traumatized, but that's not true because I still see him. Not outside the window anymore, not inside either. Just everywhere I look when it gets quiet, in reflections, in screens, in corners of my vision. And sometimes, when I stop moving for too long, I feel my face change, slowly stretching into a smile I don't control because now I understand. He wasn't trying to stare at me. He was teaching me that once you notice him, he always notices you back and he never ever stops.